Broadcast Center. I'm Molly O'Brien. And we are starting off the day with the organizing and efficiency expert, Kristin MacRae. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi.
Nice to be here.
Thanks so much for joining us. All right, so we are getting organized. You're with Organizing in Rhode Island, and we've been talking a lot the past couple weeks about helping you get prepared and organized for the holidays. So today's no exception. Holidays come, we get a lot of family in town, or you head out for the holidays, but also we get a lot of gifts. We get a lot of stuff that comes around.
Yes.
So whether you're getting stuff from other people or you're getting stuff because you're bringing it into your own house,
right.
There's usually a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to help you get organized and in the toy section.
Toys.
So I kind of love this idea. I do not have children myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to other people's houses that have children, there's toys all over the place. Whether they're organized or not, I mean, there's
an abundance.
An abundance of toys.
Yes.
And so whenever you are giving gifts for the holidays, toys or not, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many toys all over the place. So how did you get this idea to help us get organized with toys?
So I have a lot of clients that have kids that I work with, just the kids alone, and I know when I go into these houses, I see it. It's just an abundance of toys. And what happens is with this abundance, the kids are overwhelmed. So they don't know what to play with because they just get overwhelmed by everything. Just as adults, we get overwhelmed. We have too much stuff. Yeah. So the kids, it's the same thing. And then the kids today get distracted very easily. So now if they're disorganized with their toys, they all have ADD now because they're all
so much.
Yeah, bouncing from one thing to the other. So, and I'm always helping kids, whether it's in the basement with their toys or in their living space or their bedroom with the toys. So I thought it would be a great topic for the parents today too, to figure out, okay, you're going to have this abundance of stuff coming in, but we need to figure out how you're going to contain the stuff you have, and maybe so you're not buying duplicate gifts or gifts that they really don't need. So we're going to talk about that today too, about what are you going to do with the stuff the existing stuff before you start bringing in the new stuff.
Okay, I like this idea. So helping you get organized in the toy department. So Kristin has 6 tips to help you get organized your toys before you bring in more stuff, more goodies to play with. All right, so we're gonna walk you a step by step and then a couple bonus steps as well.
Sure.
So the first step is get your kids involved, and we love this idea.
Yeah, I always say get your kids involved because so often you'll be cleaning up after them, and then the kids don't know the systems. So what happens is you end up putting things away. So now it takes time out of your day. You're telling your kids to go clean up the mess, but they don't know what that means. So I want you to incorporate them in this process. I want you to think about simple systems. The simpler the system is, the easier it's going to be for your kids to maintain. And you have to get them involved in this process. You're going to find that your kids, when I work with kids alone, I find that they want to get rid of things. Like they're ready to toss things out or donate things. They want to do it. And the parents are always the ones that say, oh, no, I don't want you to get rid of this. You've had this since you were a baby. And that's fine, but I want you to keep these memorabilia type things, the stuffed animals, the games that you maybe want to keep because it was a memory. Put those in a memorabilia bin. If the kids aren't playing with them, don't incorporate them with their everyday toys. So that's why I want you to get the kids involved. Talk to them about what are they using, what aren't they using, what can be in memorabilia, can put that away for safekeeping for another time when they're older, and really incorporate them in this process. Talk to them about how they want to function. We talked about this with clothes too. Your kids will, believe it or not, when you ask them how they want to function, they're going to tell you. But it's taking that time, sitting down with them, talking about how they want to function, what the process is going to be, really having that conversation with them. And you'll find once you do that, they're really going to be on board with the process. So incorporate them. I
think that's so beneficial too, because your kids will tell you, I don't like that anymore, or that's not fun for me anymore,
right.
Or I like this thing now. And maybe parents will be able to make that decision. Okay, well, we can clean up and we can clear out this amount of space. And I know a lot of parents, too, might say, well, I want to save this. Mm-hmm. Then you can make that memorabilia box, which is so neat. Or you can, if you want to save it, oh, I want to save this for my grandkids someday.
Right.
Okay, then it's time to make a box for that and put it in the attic or put it in storage, or do you really want to save it that long?
Right, and think about
is it worth it?
Yeah, exactly. And think about, too, you want to save it, but if it doesn't fall into those categories, why are you keeping it? A lot of people feel guilty. They said they spent a lot of money on that gift and they just don't want to throw it out or donate it. They want to hang on to it. But you really have to, get tough with yourself and say, do we really need this? We're bringing more in the house, and it's just going to become an overwhelming process for everybody. So really think about, does it need to live in your everyday space? What can you do with it? Can you donate it or get rid of it? But really incorporate the kids.
And then maybe that's time for you to think, well, do we need to bring more of the same
Do we
thing
need to bring it in?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So rethink your buying then at that point. And talking to your kids will then realize, okay, well then what's the next gift to buy? You know, so
you have that conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And sometimes quantity over quality. I always say quantity as we talk. Quality over quantity. What are you bringing in? Is it just these dollar store items that are just going to take up more space? What is it? Again, quality over quantity.
Okay, so good to get your kids involved. So the next tip you have is to take inventory.
So as you're going through this process, as you're getting them involved, some people don't even know what they have. Again, I walk in these houses and nobody has a clue what they have. It's just thrown all over the place. So take inventory. Think about, okay, where is this stuff living now? Is it in a designated spot in the house? Let's take, again, taking inventory, you're going to toss, keep, donate, but physically touching every item that they have so you actually know what they have. A lot of people forget. You know, the grandparents buy stuff, it gets thrown in the corner with the rest of the stuff. So really take inventory of what you have.
It's out in the garage, it's in who knows where it is, in the car.
Yeah, when there's no organization, it's chaos. And you know it if you're living in it. So you know how you're feeling right now with Christmas coming and the holidays coming. You know how you feel. If you know you have to buy these gifts, but you don't know what to buy them. And to take inventory right now, you might be like, I don't have the time. But you really just make it a point to do it.
Okay. All right, the third step is to declutter.
Again, same thing, we want to declutter. So as you're taking inventory, you're going to be decluttering. You're going to get rid of things. You have to be honest with yourself again. What are they using? Get your kids involved. What are they using? What aren't they using? Can you get, strict with yourself, tough on yourself, and say, you know what, we're not going to use these. If you're, again, don't bring more stuff in the house to pile on with the other stuff if you know that they're not even going to use the stuff that you're bringing in. So, again,
and let the kids do it. Like, make a big bin for them and say, okay, what do you want? What do you don't want? And they probably will say, like, I don't want this anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Or give them the option, like, okay, so there are kids out there who need toys for the holidays or would like toys that maybe don't have as many as you, and they probably would be happy to donate.
They feel good doing it. And it's usually always, like, when I work with the kids again, it's always the parents will come downstairs and say, why are you getting rid of this? Why? And the kids are like, I don't play with it anymore. So you have to listen to your kids. I know that it's hard for you that you've spent money on this stuff, but if it's not going to get used, it's just going to get incorporated with all the other stuff, and it's going to become that overwhelming like chaos down there.
And the kids will want to hang on to certain items, so they're not going to let those go. You know, like they have the stuffed animal, they have the blanket, they have the the favorite things. So don't second they're not going to let those favorite things go, right?
They're going to get rid of the stuff that they don't want anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Next step is to organize. So you've taken the inventory, you've decluttered, and the next step is to organize.
Right. So think about, you might have a basement, a finished basement where you're storing these toys, and they may be incorporated in your living space. Before you get organized, I want you to think if that place where these toys are now is actually the place where you want them to live permanently. You might say, you know what, I'm tired of having all these toys in the living room. We have this nice redone basement downstairs, finished basement. Let's make a spot for them in the finished basement. And you might decide, all right, now you're going to have your living space back. So think about it first. Just like we say about when we're talking about our spaces, create a vision. How do you want your kids to function with their toys? Create that vision. Where do you want it to be? And then talk about the systems with them. So you want to get them organized. So you might have, I did this once in one of my clients' homes. There were 3 kids, but they all played with different games. They were all different ages. So we created spaces for each child.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, they might intermingle at some point, but your 4-year-old doesn't play with the toys that your 10-year-old plays with. So we gave them designated spots, I taught them how to put things back, the process, why they're putting things back. So again, when you're getting organized, it's about creating those systems, but actually talking to your kids about how they want to grab things, and incorporate them in the process. Talk to them about why they need to put things away, not just you need to put your toys away, but the reasoning behind it. It's going to save you guys time in the long run. When you go to look for something, you're going to be able to find it. Things like that. So the importance of getting organized, just don't tell them we're going to do this. Explain to them the benefits, and it might help them to maintain their organization.
Yeah, and then it will help you in the long run.
It's really going to help you in the long run.
It's going to help everybody, right?
Exactly.
I like that process.
We just want more free time.
Okay, organizing supplies, and this is such a big one.
Yes, don't run to the Container Store before you start this project. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you're going to waste money. You're going to go to the Container Store. You're going to get overwhelmed. Any store, really, Walmart, Target, wherever you shop for your supplies. Again, do all these steps that we just talked about, but then say, okay, I need a container for this. I need something to hold the puzzles. Now you can go and purchase that container to hold the puzzles. So many people get excited. They're like, oh, we're going to go get organized.
I want all of these bins.
Yeah, they're all pretty. And really think about what you have to store and match the product. So many people run out and buy bins, like the colored bins, because they're pretty bins. But in reality, those bins become like a drop spot, and then people throw things in them, and it's hard to find what you need.
Yeah.
So sometimes a bin isn't a good organizing supply. It could be a bookshelf where you stack the games on the bookshelf, or that's why I want you to really think about, look at what you have, and then go and purchase your organizing supplies to what you have. It's going to save you a lot of money. It's going to save you a lot of stress, and you'll have what you need when you need to grab it. You're going to be efficient in grabbing the right piece.
And I think it's a good idea too. You mentioned this before. Like, look at the space that you have,
Yes.
and then go out and find the supplies that fit that space. So don't just go out and buy a bunch of supplies that you think are like, this is cute, like this is a good little box for this area, you know. Find the supplies that work best for your space, whether you need to measure that space and get your kids involved as well.
Exactly.
Right?
And think about, you might find that space downstairs, and you might have all these games or books stuff for the kids, and you might say, oh my God, we have a bookshelf in another part of the house that we're not using. Let's bring the bookshelf downstairs and do that. So repurpose things in your home. You might have pieces in your home already once you start looking at all the categories on the floor. And that's how I work with my clients too. I say, wait, do you have anything in the house before we go buy anything? Do you have anything that you're not using that you want to use? That way we save money that way too. But you'll really get a good idea of how you want to function and buy the right piece for what you need, and again, repurpose whatever you have too.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need to drop more money into
No.
it. Just especially if you're going to go out and buy a whole bunch of new presents.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive. Yeah. So.
Okay, so the next step is to maintain. You've just done all of this work. Don't let it just go back into chaos.
Right, and people will say it'll never happen. I'll never get my kids to maintain. But I do have clients where the kids are maintaining, because it's all about talking to them about the reason why. Why are we getting organized? Why do you need to put your toys away? Just not, I set up the space for you, now you're going to maintain it, when they didn't even create the system.
Yeah, they're really
So if they don't, you're going to tell them, now go downstairs and clean up the mess and put it on the shelves that I organized for you. They're going to say, I don't know where anything goes, so they're just going to throw it all on the shelf. That's why you need to incorporate them. To get them to maintain, you have to get them in on the process. Create those systems with them. Ask them, how do you want to grab this? How do you want to function with this? And that way, going forward, when you say go straighten up the basement, they're going to know, I have games in this area. And listen, label anything you can. Labels are great, especially for kids. Whether it's printables, whether it's fabric, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Get creative, stickers, whatever it is. Label everything just until they get in the habit of, or keep them there forever, whatever you want to do. But label everything, so now, even though they created the systems, they can say, oh, my games go here, I'll put them back here. People say, I'll never get my kids to do it, but believe it or not, if you really put this work in, it can happen.
Well, I think too, when kids know, like, oh, this has a home, then they feel more comfortable and more confident. They know where things belong. Everyone likes when
there's order.
Yeah, when there's order. So kids want to function like that, especially if they already, if they're in school, then they know there's a schedule, there's a routine,
Structure.
Stuff as a home. Yeah, they like structure. So if you can have that, then great, right?
Kids love structure. Most kids love structure. They're so overwhelmed today with everything that they have to do, and if they're living in a disorganized house, it makes it that much more of a burden for them to try and stay organized, and because the parents sometimes aren't organized. So that's when I come in and I'll work with the child to give them the skill set. So it just makes a difference when they have that structure.
Okay. So being able to do all that, you can do it.
You can do it.
We're giving you a challenge.
Yes, you can do it.
I went through my basement last weekend, Kristen. Got rid of some stuff.
I saw you posting it on social media.
I
said,
donating a bunch
of
of stuff. I have so many clothes. So many clothes,
It feels good, though, to go
people.
through everything,
I know. I have to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Okay, so you have a couple bonus tips,
Yes.
and we've kind of worked these things in, but just being able to, and we kind of talked about this, but just being able to go through and say that, what am I trying to say here? If you have an organized play space, look, you can get it organized.
Yes.
If it's unorganized, you can't get it organized. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, because people will be saying probably out there, Kristen, I've tried it. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm giving up. Don't give up. Please don't give up, because I'm telling you, in the houses I go in, we get the kids organized and they maintain it. But you have to sit down with them. It's going to take work. It's not going to be easy. Remember, we talked about lifestyle change. We always talk about this. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just I'm waking up, I'm going to be organized, and I'll never have to touch it again. It's going to take work. It's going to take maintenance. Once you get there, though, and it's maintained, you may have to tweak the systems once in a while, but once you're there, it's going to be phenomenal. You're going to reap all the benefits. You're going to save time, money. You're going to have be more efficient, more productive, less stress. Like all that will come with it, but you have to put the work in, and you will get there. You just have to. I know the parents are busy today. Everybody's running around between dance and sports and who's in and out. They're not in the house that long. But even if you bring in someone like me to actually get you on track to get you there, then it will work. Because some people say, I just can't do it alone. So that's when you need to call somebody in.
Yeah, and just use the resources. Resources are available, so use the resources. That's why there are people like Kristin here to help you, and segments like this to help you.
Yeah, there's help out there. Just like when you need a personal trainer, or you need like a nutritionist, or you need all those things to help you. I say it's my team. Like I have a team for myself in my life for personal things like weight loss and things like that. That I have a team. Bring in a team to help you get where you need to be.
And that's why we're here to help you out. So, Kristin, thank you. We're helping you get organized and stay efficient and hopefully bring down your stress level just a notch or two as we head into the holiday season. So, there are 6 tips, and we'll post them again, of course, on our website, GoLocal Live. And you can check out all of Kristin's articles on GoLocal Prov. She writes for us every week as well. So, everyone, please hang tight as we get set up here for our next guest on GoLocal Live. Kristin, thanks so much.
Thanks, Molly.
Appreciate it.